Taylor Swift, Eminem, Beyonce, who never performed, by the way. That's just another deceptive tactic by the left to bring in non-organic supporters. Usher, Leo DiCaprio, or in other words, the Diddy guest list. They all came out to support Harris. Leo still talking about climate change while he's using a private jet and buying mansions by the ocean. At least take the bus. The day the world will stop looking up to Hollywood and musicians for answers or entertainment is the day that our collective consciousness will finally start to rise.
These unnatural disasters were caused by climate change. Donald Trump continues to deny the facts. That's why I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
Who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hey, Ro, tell Miss Carnes who you are for Halloween.
Okay, let's see. Come on. You know, when they took a shot at my hero, and they tried to kill the next president of the United States, enough was enough, and I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
What would you tell Kamala Harris if she was here right now?
Who is she and why is she even running for office? Kamala Harris can't even say two sentences together. What do you want from her, man? She's a drunk. She got no common sense. And every time they ask her a question, she never answered directly.
She needs to go back to California. She's pathetic as a candidate for president.
And you know what I say to Kamala? About for goal! 2024, make America great again. Legal immigration, no men and women's sports, world peace. Let's go!
Help has arrived thanks to early vote action and Nick Soder. Thank you, Nick. We've got so many people out here in Bucks County that we had to order dinner. But it's okay, we got you. Come out and vote, and we will make sure no voter is ever turned away for any reason. We will feed you, we will give you chairs, we have snacks, we got free yard signs. If you are in line, stay in line.
Because an allegation is made, we have to make a report on it. So if you guys have ID on you?
I'm not going to have a police report filed on me for... We're not beyond the electioneering line. We didn't do anything wrong because a lady was triggered by a sign. We have to have a police report filed on us? That sounds kind of extreme.
It's a voter thing.
Right, a voter thing. So what's the law that was broken?
Harassment, voting.
There's no harassment.
I know, but we'll have to do a report for the state.
Imagine every Democrat voter that pulls up here and gets triggered by us handing out Republican stuff. There's going to be 17 police reports on us today?
Fortunately.
We're not even talking to these people. I really would rather not have my name put on a police report for, I mean, we're law-abiding citizens here. We're not doing absolutely anything wrong at all. Poor people.
Can we talk to my sergeant real quick?
Okay, thank you.
It's just, it seems that the other side is very triggered by this side. Understood.
No one called and complained to the election judge upstairs, so you guys are good. There's no report, nothing's going to happen.
All right, appreciate it.
Whoever saw this obviously misinterpreted whatever was there. So security, I talked to them. They said where you guys are, you're perfect.
Yep, not doing anything wrong.
No,
Thank you guys. I'm sorry that you had to waste your time.
I appreciate that.
Accusing you of something.
That's okay.
That's okay.
I appreciate the follow-up.
You got a call and you have to investigate it. So.
Alrighty.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good day.
Happy Halloween.
Very interesting. Rashad Evans, UFC Hall of Famer. Not a big fan of Donald Trump last time around. Something's changed since then. Now he supports Trump. But let's take a trip down memory lane. Let's listen to what he had to say.
If you got invited to the White House by Donald Trump, would you accept the invitation?
Well, no, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go just because it's all for show. It's for nothing. The government is not the government we think. You know, that's a charade. That's just for the people to see. You know what I'm saying? I don't know Donald Trump. I met him once. But it's, politics are politics, and it's just a show for people. But at the end of the day, there's something else that's running behind the scenes that no one can see. And there's a hidden hand. And that's just the reality of politics. So we can say, you know, politically, oh, Donald Trump is this way, Donald Trump is that way. Donald Trump is a puppet.
Congressional battles. When I tell you that the Republicans are tired of the BS, you want to talk about the gloves coming off? Watch this lady to the right. She's the Republican running candidate. Listen what she says to this lady over here on the left.
And hope for the best. Hope that the results will trickle down to hardworking people. I take a very different approach. I believe that the middle class deserves a tax cut, and I believe that we will do a lot for this country by ensuring that we don't continue this disastrous tax policy.
Ms. Conway.
You are wealthy. You're worth $20 million to $30 million. How do you know about regular people suffering? Do you go shopping, go to Walmart, buy food? I talk to those people. And you pretend to be renter in Nashua a few months ago, moved back to run for this open seat with millions of dollars from Washington, D.C. insiders. And the millions of dollars. I don't have money to run a TV ad. And you pretend you are poor, complain rent is so high. You couldn't save that apartment for other people to rent in Nashua. Just go back to your $2 million home in Portsmouth. Please don't say that, because you do not understand regular people's concern. People cry in my arms on this issue.
She can't afford to run ads where she's at. This woman lives in a $2 million home and is worth $30 million. Do you see the disadvantage that a lot of these Democrat people running for office have? You see what they do is they prey on the hopes, worries, and concerns of poor people. And then they act like they know, oh, I understand. I feel you. I know your pain. No, you don't. This lady's telling her, no, you don't. Go back to your $2 million home. And you run fundraisers because you know them. They're rich, you're rich. Go back to your $2 million home and stop acting like you're poor. Oh, look out now. This is Dax. He's one of the fastest growing rappers out there, and he now supports Trump. I can't play a lot of this because of copyrights, but let's just listen to a little bit.
I'm ahead by miles, and I can't slow down. It's criminal activity, push capitalism.
Anyways, his name is Dax. You can find him on YouTube and listen to his songs. But he is now voting for Trump. Now, there must be something happening to some of the news agencies, especially CNN. It's kind of weird to see. This is Jake Tapper complaining about how the Democrats, Kamala Harris and Liz Cheney, how they took something that Trump said and twisted the words around. And he's saying that's not right. What the hell is the world coming to? Let's listen.
When Trump said he was going to do something for women, whether they like it or not, whether the women like it or not, he was talking about protecting women whether they like it or not. Certainly you can take issue with the language, but he wasn't saying he was just going to do whatever he wanted regardless of, you know. Anyway, anyway, but let's talk. I mean, but you take my point. You don't disagree, right? I'm saying I'm going to protect them, whether that women want me to protect them, whether right.
And some would say that's misogynist, and that's.
But it's not.
Yeah, leave it to a Democrat to try to smooth things over. What Trump was saying is, look, I'm going to make laws. I'm going to pass things that are truly going to protect people, protect women. And he says, and I hear people complaining about it. I don't care. I'm going to protect them whether they like it or not. Remember the guy at the beginning? It's crazy how all these people, all of a sudden, these entertainers, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Usher, all coming out to endorse Kamala Harris. They know what P. Diddy's been doing for years. But then magically, all of a sudden, they want to arrest him and get the tapes. And what do you suppose they're doing with them tapes? They're doing the same thing they did to the Epstein tapes. I'm talking about our intelligence agencies. What, you think Robert De Niro is 500 freaking years old? You think he likes going out there talking shit about Trump all the time? No. These people are on these tapes and they're being forced. These endorsements are not organic. Take a listen to LeBron James, who just came out to endorse Kamala Harris. Gee, I wonder if he happens to be on any of these tapes. Let's listen.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. And you about to just turn around and vibe. And Bron, when this is done, we going to drink a couple of bottles of the most premium wine.
Please.
Yeah, ain't no party like a P. Diddy party. Obviously, LeBron's been there more than once. Could LeBron be on these videos? Allegedly. So in 2020, when Trump supporters were up in arms and they were pissed off, claiming there was some funny business happening to the voting machines back in 2020, but now you're going to understand why they were pissed off in 2020, because already the same crap's happening again in 2024. Let's hear what this man is saying.
James Carpenter. I just voted in the white settlement election. I voted for one president, checked it on the video screen. When I got the paper ballot, it had the other candidate's name on it. Check your paper ballots, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
For all of you people out there voting early, voting by machine, if you get a printout of your vote, make sure that it has on the piece of paper you've taken out the candidate that you actually voted for. This is not new. This isn't the first time. These Dominion machines have done this several times before. You heard what that man said. When I printed it out, it was the other candidate.
Lucas Clark. I voted here at White Settlement Library in Fort Worth. I was in line for about 45 minutes, and there were 2 people that came out and said that their ballots were changed. So everybody double check your printed out ballots. They go in there and they vote, and once they print out their ballot, it's different. So.
Thank you very much, sir.
That isn't the only machine that's doing that. Hundreds of millions of dollars, just so you understand, for these machines. The same voting machines that the Democrats complained about before the 2020 election, saying that they're compromised, that the votes can be flipped. So talk about irony. These people are talking about the Dominion voting machines. Keep this in mind. This is why I keep telling you the Democrats lied to you. Why would you support a political party that lies to your face? Listen to what he's saying.
I continue to think that our voting machines are too vulnerable.
Researchers have repeatedly demonstrated that ballot recording machines and other voting systems are susceptible to tampering.
Even hackers with limited prior knowledge, tools, and resources are able to breach voting machines in a matter of minutes.
In 2018, electronic voting machines in Georgia and Texas deleted votes for certain candidates or switched votes from one candidate to another.
The biggest seller of voting machines is doing something that violates Cybersecurity 101, directing that you install remote access software, which would make a machine like that, a magnet for fraudsters and hackers.
These voting machines can be hacked quite easily.
You could easily hack into them. It makes it seem like all these states are doing different things, but in fact, 3 companies are controlling this.
It is the individual voting machines that pose some of the greatest risks.
There are a lot of states that are dealing with antiquated machines, right, which are vulnerable to being hacked.
Workers were able to easily hack into an electronic voting machine. It was possible to switch votes.
43% of American voters use voting machines that researchers have found have serious security flaws, including backdoors.
We know how vulnerable now our systems were. I know the hackathon that took place last year, where virtually every machine was broken into fairly quickly.
I actually held a demonstration for my colleagues here at the Capitol, where we brought in folks who, before our eyes, hacked election machines, those that are being used in many states.
Aging systems also frequently rely on unsupported software like Windows XP in 2000, which may not receive regular security patches and are thus more vulnerable to the latest methods of cyber attack.
In a close presidential election, they just need to hack one swing state, or maybe 1 or 2, or maybe just a few counties in one swing state.
I'm very concerned that you could have a hack that finally went through.
It was a rose garden welcome for the Italian Prime Minister, and President Obama used it to call out Donald Trump on his claims of a rigged election.
You start whining before the game's even over. If whenever things are going badly for you and you lose, you start blaming somebody else, then you don't have what it takes to be in this job.
Trump shot back this afternoon in Colorado Springs.
But they even want to try and rig the election at the polling booths where so many cities are corrupt. And you see that. And voter fraud is all too common. And then they criticize us for saying that.
That's exactly right. But you want to see something that's funny. This is the type of rallies that Trump had before the 2016 election. Look how small these rallies are. Now we're finding out who's behind letting the illegals come in here.
I found the source of exactly where all these illegals are getting put on the voter rolls, and it's going to be made public very, very soon. And I'll tell you right now where it is. And it's an organization called the Electronic Registration Information Center. It's led by a guy named David Becker, who was involved in a scandal while he was a U.S. attorney, and he essentially contacted the city of Boston while he worked for the DOJ, and the DOJ sued Boston over voting rights, claiming that he would help them get out of it. He then worked for PFAW, the People for the American Way, a far-left organization. Then he went on to work for Pew. And with George Soros' money, he created an organization called the Electronic Registration Information Center, which is known as ERIC. And then ERIC contracts with the states to get your DMV records, all that sensitive data that nobody else can get, that's protected under the Driver's Privacy Protection Act. That's where they're finding out the ineligible voters. That's where they're finding out who in the state isn't registered to vote. And their membership agreement prohibits you from disclosing to them who is or is not a citizen. So you send all the information to people that live there. Don't tell them if they're citizens or not. And they pump those names onto the voter rolls, and then they circulate it back. And then they give it to the other organization David Becker found, which is the Center for Election Innovation and Research, which is the recipient of all those Zucker bucks from back in 2020.
See, the Democrats are really, what they are is part of a crime syndicate. I mean, a huge crime syndicate. If you guys have not heard Candace Owens expose the hell out of Kamala Harris, I think you should. There's a gentleman saying that when she was the state's attorney for the state of California, that Kamala Harris worked out deals where she would free cartel members, but then give the harshest sentences to black people in exchange. You had to make somebody that was a boogeyman, and she pinned it on black people. That's exactly what she did. And she let cartel members go. She's got way more detail than I do, and I encourage you guys to go Candace Owens. So when Trump says these people are rigging the elections, he isn't lying. And that's why people all across the United States are waking up to this. They know, even Democrats are waking up to this. They know that what Trump is saying is the truth. Case in point, this is a Democrat. She put a Republican in jail for 9 years. She just leaked passwords. The other woman didn't leak passwords. This woman leaked passwords to Dominion machine. Look at her smug face. This reporter just drills her. She's a Democrat. She's a Democratic operative. Ready?
In 2021, when Mesa County's voting system passwords leaked, your office said, quote, the public disclosure of the BIOS passwords for one or more components of Mesa County's voting system alone constitutes a serious breach of voting system security protocols. By that standard, did your office commit a serious breach of voting system security protocols?
No. There's several things. First off, the situation in Mesa County is very distinct to the situation that we are facing today. Because of that, Tina Peters was just convicted of 9 years of incarceration. We were actively investigating the password disclosure as part of a bigger security breach in Mesa County.
Pardon me. What your office said was that the public disclosure of the BIOS passwords alone constituted a serious breach of voting system security. So now that your office has leaked passwords, does that also constitute a serious breach of voting system security protocols?
Well, to push back on you, Kyle, that sentence is in the press release, but there is a much bigger press release. And part of that investigation in Mesa County was 2 sets of passwords, unauthorized access, stolen passwords, and it was in a different time. Since 2021 and what happened in Mesa County, our security has improved, including the 24/7 hour cameras, including the badge and access. The law has been significantly strengthened since then. We have multiple layers in place to ensure situations like Mesa County don't occur, and that is not what is occurring here.
Again, the word choice that it was the passwords alone that constituted the serious breach was, again, the words used by your office.
Do you see the double standards? She's saying, oh, you know, these people breached it, we got cameras. It doesn't make a difference if you have cameras in cars for when you sign in or go into the system. That doesn't matter. This woman had a spreadsheet with a hidden tab that somebody found, and on that tab was passwords into the Dominion voting machine. So it doesn't make a difference if you have a badge. It doesn't make a difference if there's a camera there. She's an inside person. She hid him in a spreadsheet. She didn't think anybody was going to find him. And this is a woman that just threw somebody in jail for 9 years. You can see her face. She knows she's in shit creek and praying to God that Kamala Harris wins. Because if Trump wins, these people are going to go to jail. By the way, his fangs always trip me out. He looks like an actual vampire. Listen to him mock famous people. He's being silly, but just listen to what he says.
Hi guys,
Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime, and it makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that.
There's a lot of celebrities saying if Trump wins, we're leaving the country. They did in 2016, but only Madonna left, unfortunately. We keep telling the rest of the people, why are you still here? Go away. And they're doing it once again. If Trump wins, we're leaving. They really have this misperception of who they think they are or how important they are. Nobody gives a shit. Get out of here. Okay, this video is really touching, and you can see God's hand at work. I'm not even kidding. While the Biden-Harris administration is refusing to help these people up in North Carolina, a very large community came together and decided to help them on their own. To me, this is how it should always be, right here, what you're about to listen to. This is why it's a big issue for us to rely too much on government. We should start relying on our neighbors.
I want to keep squalling about all this, but my heart is absolutely overflowing today. First of all, the Amish from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, is sending a 56-passenger bus to Shenanigans, North Carolina, to build little cabins for people who lost their homes. They're going to be here from Monday through Friday. Friday they're going to go home and then come back Monday with a fresh crew to start all over again. And they say they don't want any help. They just basically want people to stay out of their way and let them do what they got to do. They said they're going to be 100% self-sufficient, and they're going to get that done, and people are going to have a home, at least in Shenanigans. A couple of days ago, I did a video saying I was going to do a little Operation Santa Claus for the kids here in the mountains who lost everything. And look what Amazon just brought. This is y'all's goodness. I wonder what that Amazon driver thought. My cat doesn't even know what to think. My heart's just beating so fast, and I probably sound like a crazy rodeo goat, but I don't even know what to say. This is just amazing. I love y'all. I just had to stop filming because the neighbors came by and saw all these packages and wanted to know what was up. And so I proudly told them, and they're going to also donate from the Amazon wish list. So this has been amazing, and these youngins here in the mountains are going to have Christmas one way or another.
I don't know if you've ever seen the Amish build something. They literally could put a house up what seems like in 2 days. More voting shenanigans. And this, of course, is in a Republican territory. 5 hours and the lines haven't moved. And then when it gets dark, they tell them, I'm sorry, you got to go home. We're closed down. People are tired of it. A court had to get involved and said, if people are in line, you cannot send them home. And so they keep telling everybody, stay where you are and vote.
She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face. You know, they're all war hawks when they're sitting in Washington in a nice building saying, oh, gee, let's send 10,000 troops right into the mouth of the enemy. But she's a stupid person. And I used to I'd have meetings with a lot of people, and she always wanted to go to war with people. So
look at the headlines. Trump was making the point that they always want to send people to war. But how would they like it if they had lined her up and had 9 guns pointing at her face? And I posted about this the other day. I said, people in politics have to be careful because Trump is kicking ass. It is so big right now. Early voting, this has never happened to a Republican to be this far in advance. But you know that everything he says, they're going to blow out of proportion. And then they get it, then the media grabs it, and then Hollywood grabs it, and the entertainers grab it, and they try to make it bigger than it is. The problem with this is nobody is falling for it. LeBron James talking shit about Trump. backfired on his profile so bad that he had to start blocking comments. We're starting to see some conservatives being a lot more outspoken. This man's complaining about the way the media is, that they're full of crap. You become a pariah if you don't slam Trump.
We are news people, even though we have opinions, and we have to report the whole story if we bring up part of the story. So yes, he's upset about Bucks County, but he was right and he won in court. That's the story.
I'll let you keep going, Jonathan.
No, I don't appreciate being lectured about reporting when many times you come here saying lots of things that aren't.
I won't
based
come
in
back,
fact.
Jonathan. I'm done.
But
I'm done. This is the most unfair election ad I have ever been a part of. You guys are working. That's fine. I'm done.
So Ruth, you wrote a column this week ending with this line, and actually I think this is perfect. We're going to put it on the screen. You wrote, "You want to know the stakes of this election? Not only democracy, but decency." Talk more about that, Ruth.
Okay, I'm collecting myself.
Oh, Ruth froze.
Oh, what are the odds of Ruth freezing?
Ruth is frozen. So hang in there, everyone. We're going to see if we can try to get Ruth back to this We're going to get Ruth back in a moment. This is First Look, Washington Post Live's nonstop shop for news and analysis, and Ruth is back. So I'm going to read that quote back again from your column, Ruth, where you wrote, "You want to know the stakes of this election? Not only democracy, but decency." We lost her again. Everybody, if you've been watching First Look, you know that these conversations can be interesting, contentious. You just saw Hugh Hewitt leave the conversation, which is lamentable, unfortunate. It is what it is.
They both resigned. Here these people are. Now that they've won their court case, they were told never to leave the line until you vote. Look how dark it is. The lights are about to be turned off in here and are having to vote from the light used by the phone.
Back tomorrow, or you can vote.
Everybody stay. You guys are here to stay. I recommend staying.
I agree. I have too. I've been here since 7 o'clock this morning.
6:30.
Right, so 7:30.
6:30.
I'm with you guys. So I guess.
Not about me, though.
So I'm with you. I just want you to be able to vote. And I know there's other options than standing here today, but I want you to be able to do this today.
The other gentleman.
Do you hear this, man? He's been in line since 6:30 this morning, and this is as far as he's gotten? Wow. The people on the right are tired of all this war talk from the people on the left, and this gentleman is going to respond to it.
Top of the day, TikTok. Yeah, a lot of things floating around on the news and so forth. You know, those reporters reporting that bull crap of what's going to happen, what they perceive to happen. They want to call us garbage. You want to call us garbage? We're the ones that protected your ass when shit was rough. You know, while you was home sucking on mommy's tit. Yeah, we the real deal. Don't fuck around and find out who we really are. Because we don't play that. We don't play that at all. You might have some plans. They might have some plans. But we got plans of our own. Not that you got to hear about them. You know, the funny thing is we don't even have to talk to each other. We already know. We already know. So when that time comes and you turn that switch on, we're going to give you everything that you ever asked for and then some.
You see, there's this huge misconception that Trump voters and supporters are only white. You are so wrong. There is races of all kinds that love and support Donald Trump. This here gentleman is a Republican. Just like that other lady, he's going to point out something very interesting about this lady. Take a listen.
It's interesting that Senator Rosenwood mentioned a desire to want to find greedy corporations. What if we find greedy politicians who make things more unaffordable for us. But when we talk about secrets, here's the sort of secrets I think Nevadans deserve to know about, and that is why Senator Rosen has violated the Stock Act multiple times. As someone who has a $15 million trust, whose net worth went up 61%, while most of us are suffering with the higher prices and less take-home pay, we're worried about paying rent, putting food on our table. Nevada, let me be clear. What we just heard was a politician say that she does not have enough knowledge on this issue to know whether or not biological males should be allowed to play in women's sports. I will not support biological males playing in women's sports. It's sad to me when these young women are having to take a courageous stand and our politicians can't even say that they have enough expertise to be able to weigh in on this issue. This is shameful. This is, again, what you would expect out of an elitist from D.C. whose own neighborhood has more security than our border. With gate and security guards, our border deserves that too. Our communities deserve that.
Thank you both. A
May I have
follow-up
one
question
sentence
here.
on that, please?
No, we're moving on.
Come on, people. You ever wonder why the Democrats are so damn rich? You had AOC went into office. She was in debt she owed for her student loan. And now she's a millionaire several times over. These people are going into politics to get rich. They're not there for the people. What did this gentleman say? She was violating the Wall Street Act or whatever it was. But Congress has been doing that for the longest time. They wanted to pass a bill called the Nancy Pelosi bill that stops representatives from investing into the stock market. They break the law all the time, but there's no repercussions because they're part of an elite circle, a syndicate of criminals. Remember that little bitty crowd that Trump was talking to way back before the 2016 election? Now look at this crowd. These types of crowds everywhere he goes. In 2016, they were small. But in 2020, I could not believe the size of these crowds. They're like 20, 30,000 people. I thought was big. This is 2024. And his crowds are ridiculously bigger than they were ever before. Somewhere between 80 to 100,000 people per rally. We've never seen anything like this before. But yet they're going to try to convince us that somehow, some way, it's neck and neck in this race. Kamala Harris is going toe-to-toe with Trump. Do you really believe that? Unfortunately, I have to put this one here on mute. Not only is Trump supported in arenas, but Trump supporters have a habit of creating caravans wherever they go. Boat caravans. At one time, they had a string of Trump voters that stretched out to 99 miles. 99 miles of Trump supporters. If they don't run into each other right there. So this is New Jersey. This is a deep blue state. It is flipping red. Car after car after car. Trump is loved. Trump is supported. But yet they keep trying to convince the whole world that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are neck and neck. We're seeing a lot of this as well. City workers are told to take Trump signs down off the side of the road so that they could drive by and to see all the Harris signs. Look how much Kamala Harris is being supported in this neighborhood. No, the city workers are taking out Trump signs and leaving Kamala Harris signs there. That is illegal. That is election interference.
Only political signs that they've been picking up are the Trump ones. Indiana Department of Transportation. Look at that. Look at that. Look, he told them to take it up. Those are the only political signs that we've seen them take. We've been behind them for a half hour.
So when we tell you that the left, the Democrat people, will do anything to win an election, that includes breaking the law. That's not what you want in Congress. That's not what you want representing us. These are the people you have to get out, whether they're Republicans or Democrats. You need to get them out of office. Unfortunately, this has music, so I can't play the music. But you can clearly see how long the lines are. This is another county where they're taking their sweet-ass time, letting the people come and vote. This is only happening across the nation in Republican territories where they vote heavily Republican. And look, these people are in line and they're told not to leave the line, no matter what. They'll stand, look, this is how you know Trump is loved. They'll stand there for 8, 9, 10 hours. That's real support of a candidate. Yeah, so this guy walked across a lady who she had a Trump shirt on and some Trump shoes on. And listen to what he says to her.
I deserve to get
You do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're wearing MAGA shoes in
Yeah.
West Hollywood.
Yeah, I am. I'm wearing my dope ass MAGA
Like
shoes.
I said, go back a
Yeah.
He's convicted for rape. It's
Not.
also illegal to film somebody in California.
Oh, what are you
without their
gonna do
consent.
about it?
Nothing, you dumb ugly bitch.
What
You've
now?
definitely been raped and you're okay with it.
You're so insane. You're so
I'm insane
nuts.
that you're filming a stranger.
Yeah, because you're literally saying you hope I get raped.
I hope you get what you deserve.
Wait, what do you hope?
That you get what you deserve.
What do I deserve? I mean, at least have the balls.
I have balls.
Yeah, I can tell. You seem very fucking normal.
You're
what
down
about
with the
Biden
rape.
showering with his daughter and she wrote about it? Or when
Biden's
she's
not
a
running for
teenager.
president, you idiot.
He's the current president.
He's not running, you dumb
I mean, hey, I'm just excited to make you famous.
Like I said, it's illegal to film people in the state.
What are you
of
gonna do
California.
about it?
Nothing. I don't even care.
Okay, then go. Mind your business.
That's how deranged the people are on the left. This man saying this woman deserves to be raped because she had a Trump shirt and some Trump shoes on. You don't think there's something wrong with these people mentally? But how did they get this way? Well, when you keep calling people Nazis and fascists over and over, this is the kind of behavior you get from them. The media contributes to this. These people need to get help. Seriously, they do. You guys let me know what you think down below about this type of behavior from either side. A lot of people are not aware of this. The media that keeps editing and changing the wording on stuff that people say, like Kamala Harris in her interview, how not one media group, but another media group edited what she said to make her look smarter. That is actually a crime. That is altering the words of what a candidate says. That is actually, believe it or not, election interference. Just like here, how they altered the record of Biden's garbage remarks despite it being recorded. I've been waiting for her to respond, but I guess she did respond and I missed it. Alina Habba. She's responding to Mark Cuban saying that Trump supporters are not smart or strong.
I just got off a plane, so pardon my delay in responding to Mark Cuban's disgusting misogynistic remarks. Some reservos. Michael Cohen on 3 levels. Just confirmed and denied by the Supreme Court of the United States. I'm licensed in 4 states. I graduated college in 3 years. Savage v. Trump. By the way, I could keep going, but those are the cases I win. And your left-wing media and your rhetoric, and you're putting women down. See, President Trump doesn't do that. He surrounds himself with strong women like me. So Mark Cuban, you can go to hell. I'm voting for Trump because I want my daughter to never, ever be around people that speak like you do.
Of course, the media goes, no, Trump puts women down all the time. Like I said before, he does talk shit. Usually if you attack him, he'll attack you back. But he usually has a target. He doesn't paint with a broad stroke. He has a target. If you attack him, he'll attack you back. Man, woman, dog, kitten, it doesn't make a difference. But he doesn't attack a whole group of women, not like the Democrats do. I don't know what's happening around the United States, but there's a huge religious movement taking place. This girl and her friend have been Christian for a long time. A friend of theirs that they've been trying to talk to start believing in Jesus, turn his life over to God. Well, watch what they do to him because of it. Now that is the power of God. That is the power of Jesus. They've been praying for him, and he got baptized. Yeah, you know, I said this many times. When it comes to Trump supporters, he's definitely got a very unique group of women that support Trump. He was saying Trump don't have black support.
My name is Jasmine Woodson.
Hi, my name is Silla.
I'm Karen Watson.
I'm Yolanda Johnson from Georgia.
This is BB Diamond from New York City.
I'm Dana Galen, and I'm from Tampa, Florida.
I live in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Out here in Maricopa County.
Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
I am a proud African immigrant living in Florida.
I'm from the great state of New Jersey.
I'm Angelina from Philly, and this November, I am not voting for Kamala Harris.
I am not voting for Kamala Harris.
I'm not voting for Kamala Harris.
I am not with Kamala Harris.
I am not with her.
I'm not with her.
I am not with Kamala Harris.
I'm not with Kamala.
I am not for Kamala. I am for Donald Trump.
I am not with Kamala.
I am not with her because she is not with me.
I support President Trump and the economic policies our country experienced under his leadership as our 45th president.
President Trump will support our law enforcement agencies and fund them appropriately.
Donald Trump made me proud to be an American.
I'm with Donald J. Trump.
We need a leader who can make America great again.
Trump puts Americans first, and he always will.
We need Donald Trump.
I and millions of other Black Americans will cast my vote for Donald J. Trump.
I will proudly cast my vote for Donald J. Trump as our next president.
Let's make America great again.
So no, it's not just a white thing. It's every race thing. People are turning towards Donald Trump because it's the right move to make. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out.